Are we on? Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Okay. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak before you guys today, because I don't know if many of you realize, you know, that I live in the area. I have 2 sons that are in 8th grade, but on top of that, I don't think you realize that I graduated from Howard T. Herber in 1982. Example of if you believe in something and you visualize it, you can actually achieve it. Because I went on and I graduated from the high school across the street. I was number 2 in my class. Eventually went to medical school and I started my own practice. But I realized when I was seeing patients, I'm saying the same thing over and over again. You need to eat right. You need to sleep. You need to exercise. And guess what? No one is listening. So here today, it's not about me. This is all about each of you. Because what we're going to talk about is the things that you know that you're supposed to be doing, but why aren't you doing them? And that's one of the things of why I wrote my book, and I titled the book, Mentally Fit, Physically Strong. Because if you're not mentally fit, there's nothing you can do with your body at all. And the point is that you have to get to the place where you are comfortable mentally, so you can do everything that you're supposed to do physically. So if I ask you a question right now, 80% of blank has to do with your health. Just a show of hands, and I'm going to call on one person right here. What's the blank? Brain. Nope. 80% of blank has to do with your health. Health? No. Heart? No. Life? No. Body? DeAndre, no. What'd you say? Sleep? You're getting closer. So it's 80% of something has to do with your health. Wellness, you're getting close. We're talking about wellness. Exercise, we're getting close. Okay. You get a t-shirt. So at the end, you'll come by and you'll get a t-shirt. So 80%, listen, because this is key. 80% of your nutrition has to do with your health. So, all I need right now is a show of hands. Who here, because I'll give you an example. Today I had to do physicals at the high school. Right across, or somewhere on the same floor as the nurse's office, there was a kid that was laying across his desk while his teacher was talking. And the teacher called on him, and he didn't respond because apparently he was asleep. Okay? So, my question to you, just by a show of hands, I don't need anyone's mouth moving, who eats breakfast? No, who eats breakfast every single day? Okay, hands down. So, Mr. Ryan, I'm calling on you. That's what happens when I know your name. Mr. Ryan is an athlete here. Athletes of all people should be eating breakfast every day. Okay? Each and every one of you should be having breakfast every day. But my question is, you know that you're supposed to have breakfast. Someone just raise their hand and tell me why they don't eat breakfast. Hold on, hold on. You'll get a t-shirt because you're honest. So she said she doesn't have the time to eat breakfast. Okay? Hold on. All right. One thing that I ask that you each do is to be respectful of your classmates. So one person says that they don't have the time. Somebody else says that they're not hungry in the morning. Okay? I'm going to get another one. You don't, okay, here's one over here who said he does not like what is being served for breakfast. So hands down. So what I would like to say then is each of you is in charge of yourself. And if you don't care about yourself, no one else will. I'll reiterate that. Each of you is in charge of yourself. And if you don't care about yourself, no one else will. So that means every day you should be having breakfast. Not just when you're getting ready to have a Common Core exam or you're getting ready to have midterms and finals and your teachers are saying, make sure you have a good breakfast. It's each and every day. You need breakfast to give you the energy. So you're not like how that student was across the street in the high school, laid across the desk when your teacher is trying to give you a question or ask you something. You also need your breakfast to give you the energy so you can focus and concentrate and do well on your exams. And also just to learn in general. Because as you get older, if we're sitting, I'll just say in college, and you ran out of steam, you don't have anything in your body, how are you going to do well on that exam? You're not going to be able to focus because what you'll be experiencing is borborygamy. Does anyone know what borborygamy is? Okay. Borborygamy is that sound that when you have that bowel gas and your stomach starts growling, that's borborygamy. So you'll be sitting in class with borborygamy. And you definitely will not be able to focus, and the person sitting next to you is not going to be able to focus because all they hear is the growling of your stomach. So, everybody should have breakfast. Now, let's talk about the options for breakfast. I'm not talking about bacon, egg, and cheese every day. No, I'm not talking about McDonald's at all. I'm talking about healthy food choices. Right here in pink. Go ahead. Okay. Your classmate here, she just gave a good example, so she said some fruit. Fruit is very good. Fruit is natural sugar, so fruit is fine. So I would rather you have a piece of fruit than nothing at all. So fruit is fine. And what I need you all, you can put your hands down for right now, what I need you to realize is that your parents might have high blood pressure, they might have high cholesterol, your parents might be obese or not at a healthy weight, and guess what? Those issues that your parents have right now, they're going to be yours if you don't change what you're doing. So, that bacon, egg, and cheese is going to cause your cholesterol to go up. So maybe you can still have eggs, but instead of having the entire egg with the yolk, just have the egg white. Because the egg white does not have the cholesterol in it. And then at the same time, while I'm talking about cholesterol, who here likes fish? All right. Salmon is good. All right, hands down. Hands down. Who here likes shellfish? That's shrimp, lobster, crab, mussels. All right. So, besides having expensive taste, you guys who like the shellfish, you're increasing the risk of having high cholesterol. I am not being the bearer of bad news, but I am the one who's helping to educate you so you can make the better choices as to what to have for food. So this is not to say that you can't have shrimp and you can't have shellfish, but everything needs to be in moderation. So one of my patients was talking about she had shrimp every day because it was the healthier thing and she was trying to have fish. There's a difference between fish and shellfish, okay? Lunch. Everybody here eats lunch. Lunch. All right. My concern, especially as the school district doctor, when I'm doing physicals, I can tell who has eaten and who has not eaten. And at the same time, I can tell who's been staying hydrated and drinking water and who hasn't. And I know for a fact that a majority of you do not drink the amount of water that you should. For another t-shirt, who can tell me the appropriate amount of water that you should be drinking? Go ahead. How much? 8 glasses? 8 glasses you said? Okay. How much did you say? 8. All right. All right. Hands down. Hands down. So far, hold on. So far, all the answers that I heard were incorrect. Because I heard anywhere from 2 glasses to 8 glasses. And those are wrong. 316 ounces, how much is that? Nah. All right, hands down again. It's a very simple formula as to how much water, and this goes for the adults, the teachers too. You take your weight. Everybody knows how much they weigh, right? In pounds. All right. So tonight when you go home, you can weigh yourself. Tonight, you're going to weigh yourself and then divide it by 2 and put ounces on the end. And that's how much water. So I'll give a classic example. You weigh 100 pounds. All right, we're back in business. Let me have your attention. Is it on? All right, so we're back in business. So classic example, you take 100 pounds, you divide it by 2, and that's 50 ounces. That's how much you should have if you weigh 100 pounds. So, one of the ways that you can tell if you've had enough water is if you look at your urine. So, my man right there with the yellow shirt, hold on. Oh, you have the answer? Go ahead, what's the answer?
If it's clear, you don't drink water. I mean, you drink enough water, but if it's yellow, you don't.
All right. I don't know if you guys are just so happy that I'm here, that you're talking so much, or if it's just that you're just so happy that we're not in class. But either way, when either I'm speaking or your classmate is speaking, I ask you to be respectful, because that's something that you're going to have to do throughout your career. So right now you're in middle school. Next is high school. For some of you, next will be college. For some it'll be military. Some it'll be trade school. Some it'll be just straight out of high school working at a job. But whatever your next stop is, you have to learn how to be respectful. That's number one. Because if you don't command respect, no one will respect you, no matter how smart you are or how much money you have. And that's something that each of you need to achieve and really want to make sure that you carry out in your life.
Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing does not make me very happy right now. Dr. Reed's here giving us a great presentation. She's going to be asking questions. I can very easily tell Dr. Reed, don't ask any more questions, don't make it interactive, and then you guys are going to be perfectly behaved. When she asks the question, you answer the question. Then we're going to get right back to being quiet. Are we good? Yes. I saw amazing behavior on Wednesday. I'm not seeing it right now. So let's be quiet. Be quiet. And let's show Dr. Reed how great we are.
All right, so the young man over here said that when your urine is yellow, bright yellow, that means that you have not had enough water to drink. So we need to achieve our urine. And you know, I also realize that you guys are preteens and also teenagers. And you like to talk, you like to interact. And that's why I decided to make my talk interactive. Because for me, it's very boring to stand in front and just to lecture. I've been in your seats before, and I don't like when someone just lectures at me. So that's why I like to have the interactive, but at the same time, I realize that sometimes when, especially when it has to do with medical, when we say certain things, some people feel a little squeamish. They don't want to discuss things, but that's why one of the titles of my book says real life, because this is real life. So you shouldn't feel uncomfortable when we're talking about food. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable when we're talking about body habits, or even when we're even just talking about urine. Because as a student, it's important that you stay hydrated. Because there are so many times when I'm out on the field at a football game, taking care of someone, and they start to cramp up. And one of the reasons why they cramp up is because they didn't hydrate. And hydration is not something that's just for athletes. It's something that we should all be doing every single day. So if you don't remember anything else, I encourage you to get your body weight, divide it by 2, and drink enough water. Divide it by 2. At your age right now, you should be getting at least 1,800 to 2,800 calories per day. And that doesn't mean that you go crazy with your eating. It has to do with knowing how much you need in order to grow. Because right now, at the point where you are, many of you are in puberty, but you're not at the full height that you need to be. Some girls, of course, are going to be taller than the guys, but at the same time, this is your period right now where you should be eating healthy. And those are the healthy choices that I was talking about earlier. And those are the healthy choices. When your parents are at home with you and you're like, oh, eat your fruits, your vegetables, they're saying that for a reason, because now is the time for the healthier choices so you can grow. Your muscles need what in order for you to get stronger? Who said protein? All right. Okay. Very good. So, whoever said it gets a t-shirt. Back over here. So, protein. What part of your body needs the healthy fats? What part of your body needs the healthier fats? No, not the muscles. I heard somebody say it over here. No. 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 You're close when you said bones. No. Your heart, no. No. Liver, no. Oh, no. All right, all right. Hands down. Who said that? Who said that? All right. It's the brain. You get a t-shirt. It is your brain. Your brain and your nervous system needs the healthier fats. Okay? And when I say healthy fats, it doesn't mean that when you go home tonight, you have a big old gallon of whole milk. I'm talking about healthier fats, like avocados, like nuts, like walnuts. Okay. So, and almonds are fine. So I can tell right off the bat by what I say that you all are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because if you were, everybody's name should be on the high honor roll because you're eating healthy. Because that's what's going to give you the focus. All right? The other key component, hold up now, the other key component that we need to talk about, because we've already talked about your eating, the next key component that we need to talk about is your sleep. All right? Now, I need to know, just by show of hands, whoever has the answer, not by like yelling and talking, how much sleep should you get? Okay.
At least 8 hours.
Okay. All right. Right up here, he got it. Right now, as teenagers, you should be getting 8 to 11 hours of sleep. 8 to 11 hours of sleep. And one of the reasons why I say 8 to 11 hours of sleep, and there's no reason to argue about the amount of sleep, it's 8 to 11 hours of sleep. And one of the reasons is why your body needs time to relax and to shut down. And that means when you're in bed, your iPad, your cell phone, and your TV should be turned off. Everything needs to be shut down. Because even though if you have your cell phone on and your iPad and your TV, your brain is still getting signals that something is going on. And that's why sometimes the next morning when you wake up, you remember something that you heard, a song, or someone was talking, and you swore you had a conversation. Sorry, I said the word swore, but you thought you had a conversation, and it wasn't a real conversation that you had with somebody, it's what you heard on TV. So everything needs to be shut down completely. Realistically, I mean, you shouldn't even have a TV in your bedroom. The only thing at your age that should be happening in the bedroom is if you have a desk, so you're studying at your desk, or sleeping in your bed. That's the only things that should be happening in your bedroom. Okay? You know what? I think by them being chatty, I think they realize they're not doing a lot of stuff right. So I think that's what's going on. So my last component is my favorite. And my favorite, because we already said that 80% of your health has to do with what you eat, and we talked about sleep. The other component is exercise. So, every day you should be exercising. And when I say exercise, I'm not talking about the exercise that you do in gym, because by the time you change, take attendance, you're probably just getting about 20-25 minutes of exercise. I'm talking about at least 45 minutes to an hour of exercise every day. Because you might not realize, because when I was growing up, we didn't have a problem with childhood obesity. Now we have a problem with kids not being healthy weights. So I'm talking about 1 out of 3 of you across the United States is not at a healthy weight. And when a child is not at a healthy weight, that's going to increase the fact, that they're going to have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetes, diabetes, which are things that we normally see in adults, but we're seeing in children now. So, every single day, you should be exercising. And exercise doesn't mean that you have to be doing planks and push-ups and jumping jacks. It could be something as simple as just turning on the radio and just dancing. That'll count as exercise too. And I can tell from what you all are saying that you all like to exercise. So, take-home points now. Listen, the take-home points, 80% of your health is what you eat. So garbage in means garbage out. No energy. So when you take a bite of pizza and you have 2-3 slices and you wonder why you feel sluggish and tired, it's from the grease, it's from the fat. Garbage in, garbage out. So watch what you eat, drink more water, get 8 to 11 hours of sleep, and exercise every day. So those of you who won shirts, you can come up, I will give you your shirts, but most of all, I want you to really realize that you are important and that you are the one who determines what your health outcome is, and it's not your parents, it's you. So thank you very much for your attention.